Hi there, hello friends. My name is Shirish. Welcome to Computer Science Tacos. Today we are going to understand backtracking in detail using today's lead code challenge, which is combination sum 3. I'm going to explain how to think in terms of backtracking, how to draw a recursion tree, and kind of add up all the solutions for this problem. So let's see what the problem is. The problem is find all possible combinations of k numbers that add up to number n, given that only numbers 1 to 9 can be used and each combination should be a unique set of numbers. So look at this. So if you add up 1, 2 and 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it adds up to 7. That's why 1 to 4 is in the list. And there is no combination which adds up to 7 which is unique. So 4 to 1 is obviously there, but that is not unique, right? 1 to 4 and 4 to 1 are same. So that's why that's not there. So let's understand the recursion between this and so when do you solve a backtrack, when you know that a problem is backtracking, right? So whenever they say find all combinations or find all paths in a binary tree, or or any kind of like find all directions that you can travel in a graph and things like that. So that typically involves backtracking because you want to know where a path leads to, and if you know, okay, this is my decision space and these are the constraints that I have, and okay, this leads to this path, right? And you add that path and then come back and then go and explore another path in the recursive tree. That's where backtracking is really useful. Say for example, permutations, right? 1, 2, 3, and you start with 1, put 2 and then 3, and then remove 3, remove 2, and then you go 1, 3, 2 and so on, right? So if you want to achieve all these combinations, permutations and various different paths that you can explore in a tree, that's where backtracking is really useful. So let's understand backtracking using this problem. I'm going to use this example where k equals to 3 and n equals to, let's just say, 9, right? So how do you solve this problem? You go start exploring your options, right? So what are my options? I can go 1 all the way to 9. I can use these digits to make a 3-digit array which sums up to this number, right? So what are your options? You start with 1, right? And then go explore. Okay, what's the next option? 1, 2, right? And since now I added 1 and 2, now I'll go explore. Let's just say I add 1, 2 and 3, right? So now you have hit your number 3 because you cannot add any more. So what you do at that point in time, you simply count this 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 is not equals to 9, right? So you don't add it to the result. So let's just say this is my final result set. So you don't add it to the result. You remove 3, right? Because you want to put another number here which will actually add up to 9. So 3 does not add. So you remove 3. That is so in this call stack you added 3 and you called backtrack again, right? So since this is not adding, you remove this. So this is why we call backtrack, because the call which goes in there and you added number 3, that is not working out for you, so you backtrack and try and explore another option here. So you explore another option which is 1, 2 and 4, say for example. This also does not add up. So what you do, you discard this path and backtrack again here and eventually try for 1 to 5 and so on and go to 1 to 6, right? Here what happens, you now do this sum 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So 9 adds up to this. So what you do, you put this thing in your result set. So 1 to 6 is now available in your result set, right? Then let me draw another layer here. So here, if you go again, say for example you started with 2, right? And then you go explore another option, right? 2, 3. You've already explored all the things that you can do with 1 because you started that with 1, right? So if you go back again, let me redraw that. So 1, you did 1 2, and then you did 1 2 6, right? You did 1 2 3 and so on, and eventually 1 to 6 you added to the result, right? And then you backtracked here, right? After that, what happens, you removed this and you went here and you found another recursive path which adds to the solution. But now you want to remove 2, because from 1 you want to explore another path, right? So 1 3 3 plus 4 and 1 3 5 is also in the result, because uh, you want to go back and explore another path which gives you 9 again, right? So eventually what I want to do, I want to remove this 1 as well and go and put 2 in my like temporary space, and then take that and then explore paths with 2, right? 2 3 and so on, right? So typically the idea is what? The idea is you start with your empty array, right? Let me draw another layer here. So the idea is you start with an empty array and then you go add 1, right? And you go explore all these options, right? You do 1 2 and so on, and formulate your result, then backtrack, and then backtrack and backtrack all the way, and then go explore all the paths that start with 2. You don't find anything, and then for this example, and then you start with 3 and so on, right? That will give, this is where you terminate your tree, right? Because that's where you add your results or you will discard your results, right? So this is where you terminate your tree and finally you return the result, right? So let's write code for this, right? So what are my steps? Start with a temporary array to keep track of my current selection, right? And then to this temporary array add all these values, right? And so on. And then at every step check what your current sum is, right? And then if sum is equal to n, right, then add it to the result and return result, right? Simple. So let me just declare a result array first. Then you wanna call your backtrack function, right? And start it with 1, because those are the numbers you want to do 1 to 9, so that's why I want to start with 1. And then give your temp array, which is new array list. This is your temporary list that you want to work with, and then give your k, n, and your result, right? So, and then return your result. Now let's start writing our backtrack function. That's where all of our for logic happens, right? Start and your temp list the result array that you want to populate, right? So let's look at the boundary conditions now. What are the boundary conditions? If my temp list dot size equals to k, I want to stop, because there is no point in adding more numbers to that temp list than k, because we are only interested in arrays of size k, right? So here what I'm going to do, either you can do sum of all these numbers and make it equals to n, or you can decrease n each time you add a number and check if n equals to 0, right? So for example, for now I'm going to do n equals to 0, right? And see here what's going to happen. If n equals to 0, then what, you've hit your ideal array, which is like 1 2 6 in this example, right? So what I want to do at that point in time is result.add new array list and give it my temp list, and then return, right? Now what I want to do for int I equals to start. So in this first case you start with 1, right? And then your start becomes 2 and so on, right? After that I is less than 10, I plus plus, right? Now temp list dot add I, and then call backtrack of I plus 1, because for the next recursion tree we want to start with I plus 1, which is 2, right? Because you want to add 1 and then 1 2 and so on, right? If you look back into that, so this is where you do your 1, and then for the next call you start with 2 because you want to add 1 2, right? For the next call you start with numbers after 2 because you want to add something from 3 4 so on, right? So that's what we are doing here. We are doing backtrack from next number. Our start comes from next number, right? So again temp list and then k n and result, right? And then temp list dot remove, temp list dot size -1, right? So, and each time my n has to change because I added 1, right? So here I added 1. Now I'm looking for what I eventually want to make. So I added 1. Now I'm looking for sum which is 8, right? Because 2, 6, and for every addition I remove n minus I, right? So for 1, then my n minus I becomes 8. When I add 2, it becomes 6, and when I add 6, it becomes 0, and that's when I add 1 to 6, right? So that's the reason we do n minus I each time. Or either you can just do n and calculate the sum of this temp list and do sum equals to n, but this is more efficient because for every iteration you don't want to calculate sum all the time, right? So that's the basic idea. Okay, so let's run this code, and it's done. So let's run for 3 9. You got your answer. Let's submit this. Let's see more details. There we go. So let's go back and explore the code, right? So here what's happening, right? So all the time just think in terms of recursion tree. You come here, you start, right? So this is where your first call happens, because your temp list is not equals to k when you begin your recursion. So here nothing is there, right? The list is empty, so you add 1 and then go into your backtrack function, right? You come back here, the size is not k yet, you go, this time the start is I plus 1, right? The start is 2. The start is 2. So what happens? You add 2 into your temp list, right? And then you do I plus 1 again. This time you start from 3, right? You add 3, right? Now the size is equal to k. So, but if n equals to 0, n is not equals to 0 because n at this point in time will be what? 9 minus 1, which is 8, 8 minus 2, which is 7, 7 minus 3, which is 4, right? N is not equals to 0, it is equal to 4. So you do what? You just return instead of adding it to the result, right? It comes back to this call stack, right? It comes back here, and then what you do, you remove this, you remove 3. Similarly, then you add 4 and it comes back here again, so you remove 4. Now you add 6, it becomes n equals to 0, so you add it to the result, right? You add it to the result and return, right? Then again remove 6, right? You explore 7 and all those things, and what happens after you explore all those, your call stack will come back to the call where you dispatched from 1, right? So it comes back all the way to 1, because that is where your recursion tree has started, right? So you remove 1 now. Eventually you will remove 1, right? And then your start will come from 2 again, right? Because that's the call stack which was already running, right? So you come back here and then now you do 2. This is at the top level of your recursion tree. It comes